Roblox is a game where millions of players can create and play experiences with others. In Roblox, you can find tons of games ranging from roleplays, shooters, and whatever this thing is. Anyways, I want to talk to you more about the fighting and the battlegrounds side of Roblox. More specifically, a game called what I meant to say was... Anyways, moving on. Titled Sword Game is a game where you fight other players and collect swords. The game is pretty similar to slap battles or sword fights on the heights, well, at least in my opinion. Created on July 24th, 2022, TSG has managed to get 13k visits, slowly building up a community for it. Since its release, it has gotten 62 swords and 26 emotes, at least in the sword menu plus basic sword. I'm not really sure. I didn't count correctly. I had someone help me. I'm sorry. As of writing the script anyways, I think I've beaten around the bush enough. Let's just get into it. The gameplay of TSG is very simple but fun. Well, until you throw bad swords into the mix. The base gameplay is similar to other fighting games. You start off with a basic sword and spawn at one of many spawn points around the map. The objective of the game is to fight other players and win to get tokens which can be exchanged for emotes and a secret sword. More on that later. You may find yourself losing a lot to other players that have better swords than you. But that's something you'll just get used to at one point, or maybe you're just really good at sword fighting that it won't be much of a problem. The best way to get better is just by playing and unlocking new swords, which will help out a ton against, the better swords I mentioned. You could also watch videos on how to get better at sword fighting, which that should work in theory, but I don't really know. There are tons of secrets you can find across the map that can either help you, give swords, or are just shops. An example would be the armor on top of the mount. An example would be the armor on top of the mountain. You'll be able to tell which one it is, don't worry. After learning how to get on top of the mountain, you will find a block on top of a little stand, and whenever you touch it, you'll get more HP, so you can survive more attacks from swords. Anyways, remember those bad swords I mentioned? Well, now we're going to be talking about them, but first, here's a word from our sponsors. Hey, you! Yeah, you. Have you ever wanted to socialize with others? Well, I don't care. Come on down to James' very secret hideout. We have game nights. We have cool announcements. You can also, suggest videos and stuff. Well, what are you waiting for? Join now. Any brain damage or loss of IQ is not our fault. Anyways, I think you should listen to whoever that was. But the link to the TSG and my Discord are in the description, so check them out. Moving on from that, I would like to also say that I'm not going to cover all the swords. It'd be way too time consuming, and I don't even have all of them, so we'll be covering more of the basic swords for that reason. The first sword we are going to cover is the basic sword. The basic sword is, quite basic as the name suggests. It works best for the best normal type of PvP, but will be useless when going up against better swords. Its stats are pretty normal, dealing 5 base damage, 10 slash damage, and 20 lunge damage. It has a jump power of 50 and a walk speed of 18. When equipped, it gives you 100 HP, same as without it. There's not really much else to say about it. It's the basic sword. It's pretty decent until you can get your next sword, which will most likely be Illuminance, but anyways, moving on to the next one. Sakura is actually a pretty good sword for how easy it is to obtain. Sakura is really good for a more run and hit playstyle, in my opinion. but any playstyle should work. Sakura has a walk speed of 24 and a jump power of 50. You lose 10 HP upon equip, meaning while you are using the sword, you are stuck at 90 HP. It also has a passive that makes it where your character's HP will regen faster when equipped. Like I mentioned earlier, it's really good for running around and hitting players because of its low damage, but good regen. Or I mean, you could also just be coward and run, which I mean, just why? How do you have fun doing that? Genuinely, how do you have? I just got ran over by a car in the US. It's actually a pretty good sword. The way that it works is a little more complex compared to the other swords so far, but it makes up for it. I just got ran over by a car in the US, has two passives that help the player a lot during PvP. The abilities are Acceleration and Revive. The first one we will talk about is Acceleration. Acceleration will slowly increase your jump power and walk speed until it caps at 30 speed and 90 jump power, allowing you to reach higher places and run faster. The next ability in line is Revive. Revive is quite self-explanatory. What it does is it revives you after your HP hits 10 and gives you a lot of buffs. It heals you to 300 HP and your jump power and walk speed can cap at 135 and 45. I definitely recommend using this sword if you're new because it can get you a good amount of kills if used correctly. Remember when I mentioned the secret sword? Well, Midas is that secret sword. Oh yeah, by the way, just a little warning, Midas is nowhere near a starter sword. You get it pretty late into the game. It requires you to do some grinding and secret finding, but you know, it's pretty decent. It has a base damage of 5. Yes, you heard me right, but it makes up for it with its abilities. Basically, it works by multiplying 5 times the amount of tokens you have. But what's the point of this though? You say. Well, your tokens affect how good your stats are, but it caps out at 375. You know what, just run with it. Tokens, meaning people with a lot of tokens can't just break the game. The max amount that all your stats can cap at is 2,500 HP, 70 jump power, and 45 speed. If you press E, it turns on Midas Touch. If anyone touches your sword while it's on, it will instantly kill them, but you will lose amount of the tokens their HP was. The Midas sword is really good, but you kind of gotta be rich for it to, you know, be good. Therefore, I haven't seen a lot of people use it, but if you're rich, I guess you could use it or something, I don't know. Anyways, moving on to the next sword. Dude, I just got that door 2 days ago.
I think we got a bigger problem than your door.
What could possibly be more important right now?
You ran out of ideas.
How do you know that?
I gotta go.
Wait, come back! Whatever. You heard the guy. I ran out of ideas. I am really sorry. I truly am. But I have no more ideas for this video. It feels like there isn't much I can think about, but that's not the game's fault. See, the way I explained the game was really, really bad. But to make it up to you for wasting however long you watched this video for, I will try to do better and hopefully recreate this video in the future. So, wait, what else do I say? Hold on. Bye. Thanks for watching, I guess.